I'm an earthworm woman. In the mornings, I fill my tanks by breathing the energy of the sea and tasting the power of the sun penetrating my skin. There's an air of no care, which comes with age, and I hold my head up proudly, liking who I've become. I'm not afraid of smells, or dirt, or to walk barefoot across the stones. Sometimes I wade through the shallow water just to embrace its fluid element, my hair often crazy and loose, being pulled by and flying in the wind. I can be glamorous if I want to, although makeup was never my thing. And I've learnt that life is for living, not fearing, and so I absorb it like a sponge. Grand risings, everyone, and welcome to another Monday morning Earthworm Woman. Woman. Bloody freezing today in Melbourne, 2 degrees, but I still went on the beach. So today, this morning, I've got a lovely guest, Carla, and we're going to talk about women. I think we're going to see what happens, but see where it goes. But she's got some projects, or a specific project that she does, and I think I know, people might say, "Oh, women get this more, this," but I think we always have to go back and really look at where we are as women and make sure that we aren't that we are looking after ourselves. And there's so many different subjects. There's so many things to talk about. I'm just going to bring Carla in because, morning.
Good
I try not to say good
morning.
morning. People say grand rising is more positive.
Oh, grand rising. Grand rising to you, to everyone. Good morning. I've got people on TikTok as well, so I just thought we'd give this thing a go, hey?
Oh, fantastic.
Let's bring more people into the conversation.
Well, absolutely. So what happens is if people do want to ever I don't know how the TikTokers can talk, but, people comment here and I just sort of involve them a little bit. Not they don't come on the screen, obviously, but yeah. So I met you a few years ago. Are you talking to people? That's
I know. So how am I going to do this now? No, I'm with you.
No, just look at us. Don't ignore them. Concentrate.
Yeah. No, this is just my first live, and then I'll come back to them another time.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Look, I don't know. You can, if they've got things they want to say, they can somehow communicate it as well. I think that's fun.
Anyway, please don't let me interrupt you.
No. So I met you a few years ago through acting stuff and through other things, but since then, I haven't hardly been in touch with you ever in the world in the whole time we've known each other. But you're just one of those people that I know I can talk to very freely, very easily, and I think that sometimes happens when people have been through stuff in their lives, their background and their where they've come from. You can kind of you have a sort of an unspoken connection. You kind of get stuff. But I'm really interested to know, I know you've come back to Melbourne from Perth. You were living over there for a while. What you're doing at the moment? That's a question.
What I'm doing at the moment? Okay, so yes, I
Who are you?
What?
And who are you?
Who am I? Who even am I? With the things I've been doing, I don't even know who I am myself. But we're ever evolving, aren't we? I mean, I'm not the same person I was yesterday morning, and I'm not the same person I was this morning on this grand rising. But so I'm living in Melbourne again, and I'm here for my mum, and that brought me back. But what am I doing? I'm here, and I have been coaching. So I have my spiritual life coaching that I decided to open the doors again because I just know what a difference it makes to people's lives.
When you say open the doors, you mean basically
client.
you've stopped doing it. Yeah. Okay. So you.
I had stopped doing it because I just
You
I
feel like
just kept coming in and out. But the thing is, I think what was happening the last time I had opened my doors was hadn't done it properly and really worked on my niche and my avatar and sort of really worked out who my ideal client is, who I love to work with. And I love to work with people who have a growth mindset for starters, and really are prepared to do the work, to do the deep inner dive, and where it can go from there is really powerful. But I found that some of the people that I was working with, it just kind of pulled the soul out of it for me, because they were not into doing the work. And it was sort of depleting me in a sense. It wasn't really as fulfilling. So so I sort of jumped out, and then I go between there and the acting world. So I mean, the acting is my passion and
absolutely
my life. But the coaching and the helping people through their stuff is my purpose. That's purpose.
I'd say it probably connects the two anyway, because the more open you are with other people, and expect them to, not expect, but allow them to be open with you, that enriches you as a human. And if you can be really open with theatre, with acting, that's the ultimate place to be, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and I think that if you can hold that space for people to be able to speak that which may have always they've always kept masked, always kept suppressed, and you create that space for people to actually start coming out of those shadows, or dipping their toe into healing, because you can't heal what you can't see. So it's about creating that safe space. And so the deeper, you can only meet others at the depth of which you've met yourself. And so, I've gone to the depths. I'm a Piscean as well, so I'm right into the emotional waters. But I'm also a mermaid, right? I cannot do surface level. I must dive deep.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I know for myself, I've had some therapists over the years, and it didn't really, it just didn't. I just felt it was a waste of money.
Oh, absolutely. And I know another Piscean that would say, female, who would say exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Well, they actually ended up asking me for my card so that they could pass some of their clients on to me, because they were unable to help them. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes maybe people just think, oh, I'm sorting myself out, I'm seeing someone, I'm doing it, but they're actually doing it for just those words, but they're not really looking at because, man, we have to admit, we've all got stuff that we have to look at. I mean, I've got a weird thing, which is not really about this, but I kind of often sort things out, or come to things like a few days after I've had a conversation around something, and it's like I have it comes up at me, and it's like, oh, hang on a second, that was about that. But I've been writing the last few years, writing poetry and things like that, to get out thoughts and to get out, to go through emotional, what do you call it, baggage and emotional stuff. That it's a really good thing, but everyone has their own way. Maybe just talking is your thing, or even.
Well, no, I don't it's not talk therapy. So I was doing talk therapy with some people, and that's all good and well, and some people just want to have a chat, and that's nice. But it's about the frameworks. So it's like, it's equipping people with tools to be able to manage what's going on and bring it up. And then, because it's not about conquering anything. No. It's about acknowledging and learning to manage it throughout your life. So, like our innermost, deepest programming and stuff, like our inner mean girls, and she's never going to go away. But if we can learn to make friends with her and placate her, and show her that we've got, I've got it, it's okay, then her charge does dissipate slightly, it weakens, and you feel her flare-ups, and you know when she's freaking out, and you have the tools to be able to deal with that.
Okay. So you think we've all got a mean girl?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. It's that voice that tells us all the ways that we're not enough, that tells us all
the critic. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Yeah,
Yes.
AKA inner critic, AKA ego, AKA so it's really powerful work, and it's transformational work. And so everything that I serve up, all the medicine I serve up, I have ingested myself. So it's not something that, it's not something that I'm just speaking. I have lived it. I've ingested it. I walk the talk.
Yeah.
I like to say. It's like, but I do, because so many people don't, and it's. I mean, that's not. When I say that, I'm thinking about these particular therapists. Look, we come across people.
And they just sit there opposite you, and often they have a very blank face, and they expect you to be offloading. And I mean, from my experience, when more I've sort of offloaded in those situations, which I haven't done for a long time, but when I was younger, I did go to therapists. You feel stupid, or I think sometimes it can make you feel worse, because they're just expecting you to give, and not a huge amount comes back. But what you're talking about is a whole fixing the whole. Yeah.
But it's also too, like, it's about asking the right questions, asking powerful questions to help your client have powerful realizations, because it's not about me doing the work for them either. It's about them having these epiphanies through hearing themselves. But they'll hear themselves because they're prompted by what I might inquire about. So it's a really it's empowering them. It's not making them reliant on me for anything. It's helping them to see that all of the answers are within, because we're like the acorn, right? We're like the acorn. So you've got the acorn, and we are like that, in that the acorn has everything in it, embodies everything that it needs to become the grand oak, right? And it's the same with us. It's just got to have the right environment and the right nurturing and nourishment and situation to have it bloom, have it crack. There we go, crack. It will crack open first, and that's what we do in this work. It cracks you open, and it can be quite. It can be quite confronting and difficult and dark, and can take you to all of these places. But that's why so many people won't embark on that journey, because it's too uncomfortable. It's too much of all of that stuff.
And they may not like what they see or find.
But then it becomes, we bring in other tools to help with that, tools of forgiveness.
Can I just ask what you call it? The unimagined.
The reimagined.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I wrote it in the thing, but I've written there. I did the reimagined. So that's explaining what that's reimagining means.
Yes. So it's like we just, until we don't know what we don't know, and we will just walk through life and accept what is and settle. More than accept, settle for what is, and we don't, and that's formed by our programming from very early years, and even from past lives, and the karmic stuff we bring in, all of that. But we have this life, and a lot of people are really unhappy, are really miserable, are really unsatisfied. There's the lack of contentment. There's the disharmony, there's lack of fulfillment, and all of those things. But people place meanings about themselves, put meanings about themselves to sort of understand why their life is like that. And so it's very sort of derogatory belief systems around self and what they deserve. And, so.
Absolutely. I was going to say also loneliness. Like,
Loneliness.
you can be in a relationship, you can be, have all the things, children, blah 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 blah, but that could be a very fundamental thing going on.
And we're going to put up with what we believe we deserve. So in terms of being in an unfulfilling relationship and feeling alone, so alone, there's nothing worse, feeling alone in a relationship, because you're either afraid to speak your needs, or you don't even know what they are.
Yes.
So this space, that this container that I create as well, creates that space for you to dive in and actually sort of work out who I am, what do I love, what do I desire, what doesn't work for me, why am I settling? It's really, it's.
And like you say, people can get to very older age and still not really realize that. And it's so you realize the older you get, the more how important it is to know who you are and actually be, this is me. If you don't like me, of course I can have to be the best. I can try to be the best version of me, but we have to strive to be that. We can't go, oh well, I wasn't supposed to be anything particular, so I'll just kind of go to the back or whatever.
But it's that thing too, though, of keeping the peace and people pleasing, because we want to belong. We need to belong somewhere, because people are so afraid of navigating or traversing life alone. Because there's that massive difference, though, between alone and loneliness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being alone and lonely. And I love my own company. I love it. And so for a lot of our journey, we must walk alone. And we must leave things behind that don't work for us and are not serving our highest good, and have the courage to actually venture and work that stuff out for yourself.
I love that. I mean, I can't remember. I think it was quite early on. I think I had this American psychologist woman on very early on, and we were talking, because that always comes into my head, the alone and lonely. And I'm the same. These last few years when I've been alone, I've just loved my being in my own company. I like getting stronger in who I am and finding out who I am. And it's, I don't know if anyone will come into my life from here, but I'm actually very content, apart from the slight red on my face now. No, I am more and more every day. I mean, and some people say, oh, but you're short and you're this and that, but who cares? It's nothing. I feel tall, 5 foot tall.
Good.
And half an inch.
Good. Sorry, my mum's calling. I don't know why she's calling. She's probably saying, I can't get on. No, she can't talk. Sorry.
Oh, she want to watch it. Yeah. You can talk to her if you want for a sec. I mean, this is how.
No, it's all right. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So even like what you're doing there, you've come over here for your mum and everything. You probably don't want to talk about that too much, but this is her. We don't even realize when your mum's not even very old, but when we get to point in our lives when we have to be everything, and still keep ourselves together and keep ourselves strong, like what you're doing with your mum. That's
why the personal practices and the disciplines are so important, to be able to.
So Jan says, I love that, Carla. I also love people, but I enjoy my own. There we go. Yes, being alone does not mean you are lonely. Exactly. I mean, I do look tall. I am tall, really. It's my inner Rahana is tall. No.
I'm so sorry. I just missed that. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Mum.
no. She was just talking about exactly what you're saying,
Can you please
how
read? Can you please read that again for me? Because
about the, she loves being, she agrees with you. She loves,
yeah,
people, but also enjoys her own company.
yeah,
Being alone does not mean you are lonely.
no, no, that's right.
Um,
But then sometimes, like, well, there was a few years ago where the UK government, the British government, employed a minister of loneliness because it was becoming
wow.
a pandemic, an endemic. What
Wow.
do you call it?
Yeah, well, epidemic, yes.
Epidemic. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because, but that's also, yeah. I mean, we're not here to walk alone the whole time. We're here to
No.
be and connect, and I think the more work you've done, the smaller the sort of pool gets of connection. Like in terms of meeting yourself where you're at, and then therefore resonating, having that resonance with others.
Mm,
It kind of, the pool does get small in the even meeting someone, like
yes.
an intimate partner, a life partner.
I'd say on
Um,
that level, yes,
that
definitely on
that
that
level,
side.
yeah, that level of consciousness is not
Mhm.
there. A lot of people are just bullshitting themselves.
That's why Victoria loves dogs. Yes. I agree. But I have to say, and I hope I wasn't interrupting the sentence, just your stream of thought just then. Were you going
No, I'll get back
sense?
on.
No, it's just, I agree with that part,
Yeah.
but for myself, these last few years have been an incredible growth, as far as connecting with other women. I
Mm.
have, and I think that's probably why I wanted to do this as well. I've met so many women, um, not all single, whatever, but very strong, know have a real path that they know where they're going. Um, and for some reason, somehow, often it's some bizarre sentence. They've just come into my atmosphere, and I've ended up having conversation. I'm just going, well, I'm just going to add you to the list of my sisters, and I think it's meant to be at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, this Tarot Tracy, who's been on a couple of times, she said this is our time. It's really a time for women to connect with each other,
Mm.
or
Well,
just
that
not even to connect with each other, but to be in their own truth, be in their best version, I suppose.
yeah, and this is um, that orchestration, isn't it? That divine orchestration and that co-creation between you and the creator, your soul and the creator, to create these situations for our soul to be able to learn, for our soul to be able to evolve, like us in this human condition, to be
Mm,
able to um, uh, have the experiences, so for the soul's evolution. So it does create these situations then where we just venture in. We go, okay, this is what's presenting. It feels right. It feels true. And I'm not meant to go through this life without having had this experience. So dive
mm,
on in, and then
yeah,
have all of these incredible experiences and new connections and sisterhood. And you might have a massive sister wound that you now have an opportunity to be able to work through. Like
I know.
it's uh, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the more curious we get, the more we're shown. But
Oh, yes. Actually, totally, and I get exactly what you're saying there.
mm,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So I like to stay curious. I also like shit. It doesn't mean make life easier when you live with awareness and um, it's you know I mean, I think from an outsider looking in, the shit I put myself through, like emotionally, it like diving into the depths of myself. You know, like a lot of people are like, what are you doing? But it's
that means it allows you to, I don't know, you haven't got any barriers going on. I'm sure everyone has some barriers, but you haven't got many, or I'd say you probably haven't got many, because
well, I
the
guess
only
I'm a
barriers would be
oh, sorry.
well, the only barriers would be, not allowing negatives and people who put you down or things which are detrimental.
Boundaries.
Yeah,
Boundaries. So important to have boundaries. Yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah. But no, just aware when something doesn't feel right. Instead of needing to be accepted, needing to belong, and fuck the people pleasing, like
Yes.
without any of those sort of hooks, then I'm free to make a decision about who I connect with and who I don't, who I hang out with, who I share my energy with. You know,
Mm,
energy is one of our and time is valuable commodities. You know, and it's like
absolutely.
not wasting my energy where it
Yeah. And
doesn't
when
feel.
and it's a very brave thing, and it's sometimes slightly even scary when you go, "Hang on nah, I'm actually not going to accept that person into my life or whatever, or that's finished now because it wasn't good for me."
Yeah.
Um,
But you also have people in your life that have been around, a long time, and then you you embark on this journey, or you're on this journey, and you are growing and evolving and expanding, and all of these wonderful things, and hear what we're doing, what we're here to do, and then you've got people that react to that because you are no longer living in your dysfunction from which they benefited. So they're going to react and try and pull you back to where you were, so that where
mhm,
they used to benefit from you having that dysfunction. And
mm,
then if you're still hooked in with needing to belong and people pleasing, and then that's going to weaken you. But if you're actually really strong and sovereign in yourself, and you know that people are going to come and go, friendships, like long-standing friendships might fall away, and that's okay. It doesn't mean, it is what it is. Might come back in, might not, and that's okay too. Everything
mm.
serves its purpose, has a season, lifetime. But just not being afraid of walking your truth, like your authentic truth. But again, the container helps people to actually even work out authentically who, like, their authenticity, like get to know that part of themselves that they'd always hushed, suppressed, shamed, pushed under, avoided, like
So,
people are
do
stripping themselves off.
do you want to talk about your container? How would they approach you, and what does it entail if they were to
Oh,
come?
yeah. I mean, I was just, because it just keeps sort of circling back to that with the space that I hold. Yeah, no, well, the
Mm,
container, I mean, you can go to my website, carlabonner.com.au, and it's in the Work With Me page. So you can go there and check it out there. And yeah, like just see how it feels. I mean, and then there's a bit of a questionnaire.
there we go.
Um,
Have
and
I
then
spelled that correctly? Yes.
yeah. And then we would jump on to have like a 15-minute chat about your needs, or like the questionnaire is very good for me to get an idea of where you're at. And then we'd potentially jump on and have a chat and see if there's an alignment there. And then, yeah, jump on in. It's a 12-week container, and it does sort of demand accountability, like, and commitment to self. It's amazing how we're so ready to commit to other things externally than we are to ourselves and our own growth. So it's like
Put
this
yourself back on the list down there. Yeah. Well, I'll get to me
list,
once.
top of the list,
Yeah.
like fill your cup. So that what it does is it fills your cup, it nurtures your soul, nourishes your soul, so that you can go out there and you can be all to everyone without depleting yourself.
Mm,
You know
mm.
where your boundaries are. You know what it is that you need. You know what it is that lights you up, fills you up. And so you can then like serve yourself first to then be able to go out there and be that. and your relationships, so that the more harmony that you have, this more inner peace that you have within yourself, that then has that knock-on effect in every area of your life. Right? So you can have, it changes the dynamics of your relationships. Let me tell you that.
Yep.
You know, because if you're showing up energetically the way you're showing up, it cannot have the same outcome. If you're not in reactivity and you're being responsive instead, it's just going to shift everything. And it's so worth it. It's it's just such a much more easeful life of inner peace.
You can feel people's energy when they're someone used to talk about being busy. Now we're all busy in our heads, but actually it's like if you have a nervous energy that you can't settle in, you know, that's where a lot of people maybe live. Not a lot of people, but
so you're saying like an anxious energy?
Well, perhaps that's maybe not anxious, but you know, avoidant. Maybe people who, like you're talking about, actually grounding yourself, finding your whole all aspects of you, put you together to then go off and be the best version, right?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
so a lot of people live in this thing, and especially now, I find more and more they don't want to communicate, they don't want to interact. You know, it's like, oh, and this sorry thing, if you know they bump into you or something, or you know they usually you're the person who's done the bumping or something, and they say sorry. There's this kind of energy I find around a lot of people who, I'm not saying this, I sound like I'm thinking we're the holier than thou, and I'm not saying I've done all the work either, but I think people live in a certain way, avoiding, and that's what we want to get past, I suppose. Avoiding looking at yourself, avoiding really finding out your true you.
Well, it's interesting what you say about people apologizing when they bump into you, because that's like, it's really funny you say that, because I noticed it yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know, people apologizing for, you know, bumping into you in the shop or something, right? And it's like, isn't that interesting? There's no need, because I will say to them, instead of going, that's all right, I'll go, no need to be sorry.
Exactly.
Because it's like, how often do you apologize for taking up space in the world? Like, is that reflective of you being apologetic for taking up space in the world? That your birth-given right to hold your space in this world.
Absolutely.
So many people do, because of these deep inner beliefs through the programming throughout life, right? So we come in as this light beam of purity and love and light and everything, and then we come in those first 7 years, you know, things will happen to us that create beliefs, and then we place meanings on things, and you know, it's like these are so delicate, these years, and then someone can be saying, oh, sorry for bumping into you in the shop, but really that comes from apologizing all their lives because of something that's happened when they were young, where they need to apologize for the space they take.
Exactly. Apologize for being,
Yeah. So no, I mean, this work too, it's beautiful in that you don't apologize. You like stand and express. There's all these somatic gestures of truth as well that are amazing. That, you know, you celebrate the space that you take, you know, like it takes all of us to create this, the diversity of the world, and the, you know, the brilliant minds, and the harmonizing energies, and you know,
and you're allowed to be wrong sometimes.
Absolutely.
Do things wrong, actually.
But then there's also, around being wrong, a lot of people don't want to be wrong because of what that means about them. So instead of going, you know, oh, I was wrong, if they admit that they're wrong, then it means that I'm this shit person and that I deserve all the shit things and the punishments and all of that. So people will not be wrong. There's all that resistance to just accepting and going, sorry, I'm sorry, you know. It's about self-forgiveness. right?
I
We've
wonder
got
if
to
it's an
be
age thing. Do you think it's an age thing? I wonder if past a certain age you're a bit more like that, or maybe not, or maybe younger people. Do you find that different ages are different in different places?
I think that there's so much about life that we can't know when we're younger. We need to have the lived experience to be able
Mm,
to really be an embodiment um, of this kind of awareness. You can, though, learn it. Like in terms of these kinds of behaviors and beliefs around being wrong and things like that, and admitting you're wrong. It's a level of consciousness. Like you don't have to have lived experience to step into that and to learn
mm.
that. It's just, yeah, whether you're open to learning, which is going to raise your consciousness in that area, which then enables you. And how great would that be to be able to know this earlier, to be able to, I mean,
But if you don't
basically,
make mistakes, you'll never learn. Yeah.
pardon?
So if you don't make mistakes, you'll never learn.
No, that's right. But basically, a big thing in this purposeful work, because I work with young actors as well, I run screen acting workshops and things
Mm.
like that. But it's about, oh shit, where did my train of thought go then?
Oh,
I
sorry.
was,
Me
I
being
was,
Um,
where were we?
age. Around age.
Age, yeah. Help me. Where was
Before
I?
before the age, I'll just replay. Hang
No, I've just asked my people on TikTok.
on. So just ask them, yes. Just a second. She's gonna ask her.
Appreciation for other humans.
I was about making mistakes. It was about
Oh, yeah,
being
that's it.
wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I basically am showing up to be who I needed when I was younger. Right. So if I think, this is what kind of really propelled me. It was like, if I had someone like me when I was younger, that's not poo-pooing anyone that was in my life. But if I had someone like me, someone that I needed, that's who I want to be to people now. That's who I am now to people I work with, to people that I, that I love, my beloveds.
Yes. Well, we are where we are, and I mean, we've all had, like, I could say a majority of my 20s were mistakes. Mistakes, whatever. How I lived, what I did, what I didn't do, how unfocused I was. The only focus was I went back to England when I was 23 because I knew I wanted to open my mouth. And I was doing dance before that, and I thought, no, I'm going to go back to London. I'm going to do acting. But there was a huge amount of rubbish in between all those before that and whatever, and after. Well, yeah, but those are the learning years, and that's why. And you have to live in sometimes bad ways or whatever mistakes to learn that.
Absolutely, we do. Absolutely, we do.
I wouldn't want those 20s back. That was what I did, how I did it, whatever.
Yeah. But we make the mistakes, like once or twice we can be excused for it being a mistake, but then after that it becomes a choice.
Yeah. The thing is, and I know, like, young people have to be young people and everything, but the age is a funny thing, because I do remember when I went back, I was probably 23, 24 even then, and I wanted to go to the Laban. So it was, I think it was Laban, so contemporary school of dance, and I tried to get into drama schools and things like that then as well. But I thought, you're too old, Rahana. You're too old to. It's like, and I didn't. I wish I had, but yeah. But that's a mistake, of sorts. But that was I wasn't solid in who I was. I had no idea who I was. You know,
Yeah.
I went for auditions for like RADA, whatever, and I was putting myself up, and I was only in my early 20s, as the nurse in Romeo and Juliet. And I should have been going for Juliet or whatever, you know? Why was I that's how I saw myself.
Oh, yeah. No, I ran that very real risk too. Like when I was on the show on Neighbours, I had a producer. I was 26 years old when I had one of the producers say to me, "Are you having an age crisis?" I was like, well, I wasn't, but should I be? Like
26. Wow.
26, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, from that moment on, it did sort of plant a bit of a seed for me to go, am I old? Am I old?
What made them say it? Just even.
I was, well, look, you know, through the show, working on the show, I was still very wounded, right? Like I had a level of awareness around self, but I was so wounded. I walked through that entire kind of time. Well, I guess I really embarked on the inner work very consciously in my 40s, around 40. And prior to that, though, I was pretty fucking wounded, and I was quite. There was a lot I was aware of. There was a lot I wasn't aware of because we like
I'm with you. Yes.
know? And so my puppy, I just got a puppy, and he was constipated, and I was late for work, and I got in trouble from the producer, and he was yelling at me, and then I was yelling back at him because I felt quite helpless, like with what I'm meant to leave my puppy while he's got poop, like I can't, you know. Anyway, and I was very reactive and fiery back at him. And he actually said to me that if I was late again, that they would make Steph have an accident and she wouldn't recover.
Right? Oh my God.
You heard it here. And then I reacted back, and then he said to me, "Are you having an age crisis?" And I was like,
wow.
So
just shut up and do as you're told.
Yeah. But that
you should be lucky you got what you've got.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I wasn't walking very consciously through those.
No, I'm the same. My 20s into my 30s, around 30, I had a big change, but I still, I had a big breakup when I was about 30, and I think I really lost something that perhaps could have been something if I was different in me. I don't think I was aware of what we're talking about, because I really didn't have the real understanding of what I could give, you know, even in a relationship, and who I was. And actually, you know, you're actually really quite nice or whatever. You've got lots of good things, but that you know, what do you call it? Bashing yourself?
Flagellating.
Yeah. Always thinking you're not. Well, there's a reason why we're not.
But we don't know ourselves. We don't. I mean, we do it to a certain extent, and you know, I think in our 20s we're not really meant to be in one relationship. We're meant to try many.
No.
For me, I was already a mother in my 20s. So I had a baby at 18, and so you know, I had that most dearest solid priority of a relationship, but
How else do you do that with working?
I had 2 babies by the time I was working, but I had a lot of support, a lot of amazing support. I'm talking to Rahana on Earthwoman.
Earthwormwoman.
Earthwormwoman on Rumble. You can find her on Rumble.
Well, you can't find Earthwormwoman on Rumble, unfortunately. You can find it on Facebook.
Oh, you can find it on Facebook. I don't think we can find it on Facebook.
I haven't got a Rumble yet. It's on Cafe Locked Out.
Earthwormwoman. Oh, it's on Cafe Locked Out.
Yeah.
Is it?
On
it's
Rumble.
On Cafe
Rumble.
Locked Out.
Yeah.
That's what I said, Rumble. Yeah. So for those of you asking who I'm talking to, that's who I'm talking to.
Yeah, I should put it there. So I am an earthworm woman. No.
Earthworm woman. Rahana
Oh.
Hayes.
We're all earthworm women. And men, of course.
That's right.
Yeah, so yes, when life is a funny thing, when you do get into I had a big change in my 30s after my second child. Yeah, so you weren't even in your 30s, so you'd already had your kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you were growing up in two different, growing up as a mum, growing up as an actor, a human, a person, everything.
Yeah.
Or expected to be.
Yeah, well, I knew that was the thing. Like, I knew who I was as mum, as character, as daughter, as sister, as friend, as partner, but I didn't know who I was. Who's Carla Bonner? How does Carla feel about things? Who am I? 18, having a baby, you haven't even started asking those questions yet. I remember starting to get really curious at 23.
Yeah.
Started like, what is this all about? And I listened to some recordings from when I was that age as well. And I'm like, go girl. Like, there's a lot that you had sorted, but then there was also a lot of, ego, I guess, in that was protecting me, serving me to protect me and keep me righteous and keep me believing that everyone needed to know my opinion. It was going to help. Now it's like, you do you. And I sit back and I like to observe. It's that whole let them theory. Just let them. Let people show you who they are. And then you make a decision as to where they belong in your life. Let them. And that's like, and there's that thing around trying to get people to understand how they've hurt you or something. It's like, it's not always necessary. You're just trying to manipulate someone to do what you want them to do, really. So if they're not at that level where they do understand their actions, then they're probably not right for your life. Like, they're probably not right to be in your inner circle. And I've had to let go of some friendships with that. Sorry?
I was going to ask you something, but I'm just to Martin. You have to listen to my intro if you want to know what an earthworm woman is. Okay. Now, Carla, you've been, like you said, 18 years in that one television show. I'm allowed to say it. Yeah?
20 years. 20 years there. Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
So you have earned a huge amount, and I'm really interested to know how it was when you started. Were you aware it was going to be such a long character, and it must have been amazing when you got that part. And
it was, yeah. So I was on my way. My second baby was 18 months old, and I was on my way to a play date, and I've always been guided by the inner voice. That's something that's always spoken to me, right? But anyway, I was on my way to a play date, and the inner voice said to me, go over to your agent's office and give them your new headshots. So I'm like, okay. So it meant I had to detour and go off 10 minutes this way. But I did that. And when I walked into the office, my agent was on the phone, and she's like, because we had handhelds in those days. And she's like, her mouth dropped, and she said, Carla Bonner's just walked through the door. She got off the phone and she said to me, Jan Russ wants to see you immediately. And so Jan Russ was casting director of
Neighbours, yeah.
And so I dart across town to see Jan. She throws a script at me, and it's called a cold read, and goes, do the best with that you can. And she took my baby, and she was all gooey and playing with my baby. And then I just did it. I did this cold read, and then the next day I got a call back. So I went into the studio and auditioned with the Screen Sisters. And then the next day I got a call. My agent was singing the Neighbours theme song on my my message answering machine. And I'd got the gig. So then I went in, and they handed me a pile of scripts like this high. And there was 19 scenes for my first day, starting tomorrow, and develop the character of Steph overnight. So this was literally like 4 p.m. I was starting at 6 a.m. the next morning.
That's incredible.
19 scenes and develop Steph overnight. So what had happened was I came in, they needed to recast Steph Scully. There was a girl that was had been with them for 6 weeks, and then she went, I can't do this. I can't do this. So they needed to recast immediately because they'd already shot 6 weeks worth with the family. They hadn't gone to air yet, which was lucky. So I step in and I have to reshoot everything that she'd done. So it was 19 scenes every day for 6 weeks.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
So it was a 3-year contract, and then 20 years later,
and it just kept going.
Yeah, it just kept going.
The thing is, listening to that voice, number one, being absolutely there in the moment. That's just.
That's exactly right, Hannah. Because like, I wouldn't have got the gig because they wouldn't have been able to find me because I didn't have a mobile phone in those days. So it was that. But I've had my intuition, that inner voice, that inner wisdom that I consult constantly, has saved my ass, has cushioned my fall, has really served me so potently and powerfully through my life. Like, I need to write stories, but my experience in Western Australia and being divinely guided like that was like, how I reflect on that and go, how did, like, the people back here in Melbourne were like, Carla, and I'm just like free falling. It's like I just had to I was on this precipice, and it was like, just step off and you'll be held, you'll be caught, and I just was. And so
you're talking about a situation that you were in there. I mean, you don't have to go into detail.
Yeah. I'm talking about the inner wisdom, the inner guidance that like
you have to
following the voice. And this is why the work as well, it cultivates that connection with the inner wisdom. It cultivates that connection to self so that you can also cultivate self-trust. So, we don't always know how things are going to work out, but as long as you have trust in yourself, then you're going to feel safer to step away from the things that are not serving you, the people, places, things that are not serving you, and make take these risks, these leaps of faith. But without that sort of self-trust, it's very difficult, again, which is why people will stay in dysfunctional situations, because there's not enough self-trust going on.
That's right.
Everything will be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Take the step away. And sometimes, even when you've gone into a situation which didn't, you've heard the voice going, and you go against it. I mean,
exactly. Don't you get burned? Burn your feet. Get burnt. Shit. And then you go, why didn't I listen to myself?
I haven't been there for a while. And I think, a lot of people most people, pretty much all who've watched this, a lot of people have gone the way they've gone in the last few years because of that voice and that, like, absolute trust. Trust, that's the big word.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. But we also are indoctrinated, right? To society, there's this agenda, and it's to pull us away from the essence of who we truly are. And in that, like, the casualty of that is that self-trust, is that connection to the all-knowing, to and to that sovereignty, right? So then if they can pull us away from that, then we can be programmed, we can be they can instill fear and manipulate us and get us to do what they need us to do, what they want us to do, what they need us to do as a society to be able to have that power. And so to be able to come back to self, like back to the sanctuary of self, is the safest place you'll ever be. Doesn't matter what's going on. If you have that connection, you can return to that inner sanctuary and find that peace and stillness. to then be able to, come back and then sort of recalibrate and then step back out.
I put your website up again or somewhere. And so do you do individual or is it group?
I do individual. I am going to move into group stuff eventually, but right now, as I've just sort of opened my doors again, and I haven't even officially. You guys are hearing it first, like,
Come running,
taking clients again. I will definitely do a group program, but right now I'm just sort of I'm just doing one-on-ones.
Yeah,
but also open to suggestion, open to speaking gigs. Like I was running women's circles as well, which I love.
Yeah.
And I sort of, I'm a bit of a gypsy right now. So I don't have any of my things. I don't have my tools. I don't have I'm sort of scattered all over Australia right now. So, I can hold the space, but it's a bit of recalibration.
They can get in touch with you through your website and, like you said, go from there.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, just, that's this earthworm woman thing as well is, to me, first of all, I just started it, blah, 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 and I'm like, I'm not really sure what it is, but I actually feel like it could be quite a big thing, and a community, and people can have their things as part of, well, not have to be part of it, but I like to promote, people like you. And I've got Fiona in Indonesia who's doing this fascia release, and different supporting each other, because things are going to get harder and we do need to support each other and be proud that we've all got our own unique bows and things that we can give to other people. I actually, when I met up with you the other day, and we were there for, I don't know, an hour, just over perhaps, and I actually felt a bit guilty leaving you. I thought, did I give her enough? Did I hear her? Because did you? Which means I've got lots more. You've got lots more to say. It was really like, felt very connected to you, and I felt that as a sister, that we've just got to be there for each other. I don't know why I felt like that.
Oh, what happened there? Live or hang on, let me see what happened here. Yeah, definitely. Drag the puzzle piece. What is going on here? Okay, I'm back.
If they got a question?
No, there's something going on with TikTok, but because I've never done live, I'm just sort of navigating. I just thought it would be a great opportunity because I want to do more lives with my people over here, but I just sort of never had. So it's like, well, let me try this. I must admit, it has kind of, in the beginning, was pulling my attention away from you, my presence with you, and I just want to be here with you, but I want to be here with you guys as well. But listening, but I found it a bit of a challenge at first. So, which is why my people on TikTok, I think you think that I am acknowledging there's all of these beautiful messages and things or comments, but I haven't been able to address them because I'm here with Rahana. Hopefully I can see them at the end of this.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to be, this is coming to an end anyway. I mean, it doesn't have to come to an end at 11 o'clock, but if your TikTok thing stopped, I think it's kind of...
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's almost a natural end, but have you got anything else you'd like to talk about with your, from here, about what you're doing, etc.?
No, I mean, I guess I love the group. Actually, the group coaching that I do is the screen acting workshops. And in that, I do weave in my wellness, my well-being stuff into that because, the tools for craft and tools for life, it's so important. So I have incredible results with my students. So I do teens. And then I do big kids, which is 19 plus, 19 to 94, like it doesn't matter. And I do exclusively women's workshops as well, screen acting workshops, which is so much fun. We work with great scripts. And so with all groups, I share tools to be able to implement to bring the scene to life. But in that, like the level of self-awareness that comes from that as well, which you need as an actor too, you know, like you need to know what you bring in life as well. You need, if you know what you bring, if you're conscious of what you're bringing. But with the actor, it's like we just need that slither of actor brain, and then we need to be in character, you know, but it's that slither of actor brain, that awareness.
To learn the lines.
Sorry?
To learn the lines.
Yeah, no, I mean in performance. I mean when you're actually in the moment. There's still, you know, like there's that slither of actor that needs to know where I'm standing. Am I, you know, my camera? Am I, you know, technical aspects as well, as being present as character and spontaneous. You know, listen and on. So, but it's and that too. Like it's a lot of people listen just to respond. And in the acting world, you see that happen all the time. People waiting for their line, and then they'll say their line. Same in life. People listen just to respond, not to hear.
To fill in the gaps.
We need to hear in acting and in life when people are speaking. And too, it's like people that work with me in the past and the people that work with me now, because I've got a couple, they feel heard, seen, and important. Whereas in other areas of their life, they may not. So again, it's creating that space which is so important for people. Because people go through life thinking that they're unimportant and they're not, they're uninteresting and all of these really negative.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I forgot to put comments up. That's right. You do hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry about the lack of comments. 100%. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for giving your time today, coming into my studio. She thought I had a special studio somewhere. On another topic, I'd love to know how actresses learn their lines. Well, everyone does it differently. Don't they? How do you learn your lines?
Sorry, what was that? How do I learn my lines?
How do you learn your lines? Yeah.
Oh, I had an audition the other day, which was like the dialogue. It was I don't know if it's actually been adapted from the book yet. Didn't feel like it. With the lines it was quite clunky and it wasn't flowing, and so to learn the lines was quite challenging for them to actually sit in. I have a process to learn my lines. If you come and do my Screen Actors workshop, then I can actually share them with you. But yeah, so you, there is this process. But sometimes when you do get material like I got the other day, it's really challenging. Actually,
bad writing is difficult because you're almost learning wrong things, because it's like that shouldn't be that. I shouldn't say that.
But I can't say it was bad writing because it fit within the context of the book, right?
Okay.
But for screen, the adaptation for screen, it needs to be adapted. So I can't. I mean, I've dealt with bad writing. I worked on Neighbours.
They're not bringing back that character then.
They're not bringing Steph back. They never bloody intended to bring Steph back. She's not, you know, Carla Bonner. No. You have
to have a good memory to a degree. Absolutely. I think the thing about memory though, the more you learn, the more your memory expands. Because I remember once I had 2 plays in my head. I was doing one night, and then I go, okay, you're at the back now, you're to the front. Next play the next night. Plus, I do role play work, so I'd have to learn a little role play in the day, and then go. You've gone, all right. Play, come forward.
So true, Rahana. And actually, I had a photographic memory.
Wow, that's good.
You know, like and I have worked on 2 pieces at once. I was doing a play as well as doing a show.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing 2 plays. I think that's different. I think that would be a bit more intense having 2 plays.
Ones I'd done before, but yes.
Okay, right. Yeah. But
photographic memory, that's interesting.
the photographic memory served me when I started on the show before I learned any technique.
Absolutely would have. Yeah.
So photographic, I used to memorize. I actually planned my mother's entire 30th birthday surprise birthday party by knowing all of her friends' phone numbers. So I call them all. I'm incredibly a strong photographic memory. Yeah, vivid.
Gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah. So, yeah, it has served me.
Well, if you want to get in touch with Carla, please have a look. I've put the website there a few times. You can go. They'll be in the comments. Carla Bonner
carlabonner.com.au or my Instagram, carlabonner3 on Instagram. TikTok is carlabonbon2. I'm a very complex individual. I'm changing, you see. I'm not the same as I...
Well, look, it's been really lovely. Everyone said so many positive comments about this chat, and I think it's just like it's just the essence of stuff. It's a beginning. It's not even it's where we have to start from, and then we have to do the work, and then we have to really live it, because life's too short to not be
right.
you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to selfishly end with that song that I did. Oh, Canada. It's irrelevant at the moment, but you know what? I had real fun singing this song, and So I'm gonna put you down here and say thanks again. Thank you everybody for watching. And
I didn't get to read any of the comments because it's not my space to read it.
Oh, they're all there anyway. They're all. If you look on the thing, how do you feel as an actress having to act in a way that you would never would in real life? Someone's asking quickly.
Yeah, that was challenging. It was. I actually had real issue with Steph becoming such a, if you're talking about, I think you're talking about Steph. She hooked up with Libby's ex-husband and fell pregnant to him, and then got told to lie, pretend to be like all of that. I did struggle with that, but I think too that a character is boring when they're not flawed. I think a character, like we can do crazy things in life, and it was, I did struggle, but I had to, as an actor, you can't judge a character. You've just got to serve what's and
it's not you.
It's not me.
You.
That's right. You can't judge, but we're so used to judging, being judgy,
or being just that thing of going back to be seen as good or and all of that. But no, you're separate. You actually played a character that wasn't.
That's right, and so it gave the viewers a glimpse into another version of her anyway. So
Terrific. Okay, we'll see you all. I might be doing tomorrow night on Cafe Locked Up with twins. One is a birth doula, one is a death doula. I thought that'd be very interesting. Yeah. And then we've got Thursday. But yes, thanks everybody, and we'll see you all soon. I'm leaving now with Oh Canada. Fascism, Marxism, totalitarianism, Canada, oh Canada, nothing much good rhymes with communism. Elitism, globalism, government-sponsored journalism. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada, nothing much good rhymes with communism. communism. Captivity is a surety in a 15-minute city. Canada, oh Canada, you don't want to live under communism.
I don't know what he's gonna do, or where he's really planning to go. But I do know that nothing right but true love.
Lying, the fundamental skills of constantly complying. Canada, oh Canada, nothing much good rhymes. Communism, communism. Gastro, Monsanto, two words that rhyme with Castro. Canada, nothing much good rhymes with communism. Communism. Liberty, creativity, exploring your humanity. Canada, oh Canada, you can kiss that all goodbye under communism.
I know that you know what you gotta do. It's either gonna be him or you, or nothing will ever rhyme with Trudeau.